I don't like this channel. Let's find something else.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Okay. Let's see where we are. Hmm. Any of these help me? Time for expert Kevin to die? I sure hope so. What's up, Cotted? What is up? Friend and King. I'm trying to decide if I want to rip this 119 encounter and just try to hit the high roll Gumi. I just don't think anything else helps me with this fight. So it's like, what's the point? Roll a 5% when I can get Jelly or Drakealgae, who will both add a lot of dimension to my box. Maybe just in the short term, admittedly. And I have so many bulky steel types, although it's specially bulky, which is great. Yeah, I can't imagine it helps that much. And this just feels like an Excelgor moment. So we have that option. We can pull 120 if we want to. 120 doesn't help us, but we can get guaranteed Slowpoke, or we can go Slowpoke Jellicent or Slow King Jellicent. Everything else is duped. But I think I would like to do 120 Grass. Maybe I just pull 120 Grass now because of Altaria. All right, Altaria or Lucha probably do the job, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to get Earthquake, even if I were to hit Lucha and scale Encore, which is a pretty big expense. I can't even guarantee that Gyarados clicks Earthquake on me, which would be the only thing. Yeah, because I'd have to give up a slot. I can't guarantee that it doesn't set up before clicking Earthquake. So pretty ass. Maybe like Beware could just 1v1 it. It probably could. Is that what this is? Is this just Rip It? It might just be Rip It. because I looked ahead at Winona, and I don't think that Slowbro really makes Winona any better. Well, no, it makes my Volcarona better. My Volcarona matchup is awful. Um, if I have Slowbro, I can guarantee beat the Volcarona and then bring in the potential to lose to other things. Um, I don't really have any clear cut perfect answers to Winona. Everything is like a team effort. It's literally going to be like a 6-mon full fight steer right now, and um, I would need like multiple Primarina encores. T brother, I miss you, friend. Thank you for coming in to visit today. I'm doing great. I'm doing so great. Work's been kicking my ass recently. It's been pretty rough, and I finally, same company, but I got a new position, same company, and it's like a weight has been lifted, man. What's up, Quentin? Mask is the easy one. Here, I'm deciding if I want to just rip 120 land, and I think I do. I think I do. So, what do y'all say we just start off the stream with an encounter? We like that? I think I'm down. What are the dupes? We have Noivern dupe, Mienshao dupe. Everything else is open, right? So obviously having Mienshao is great. We know that Serena's a miss, but that's always true. We have one less miss than usual. Everything else here is usable. Volcarona is no help on this gym, but it's really good. Delaying's not, I mean, not really, not like permanent delay. I have been delaying it because I don't have a Winona plan, and I have guaranteed Slow King if I surf, right? I can pick Slowpoke, and I can't have Slowbro, so it's evolved into Slow King, but choosing to not have Future Sight on Winona is pretty big. So I think that's worth, right? It was worth trying to do it. But my Gyarados matchup is so bad that I think rolling for Beware or Altaria is a legit decent decision with like Limber, with Mold Breaker, or not Mold Breaker, with Unburdened Lucha obviously being a generic high roll anyway. So like, right, Lucha also does great things on Winona. So what are we really talking about? And I have like no clear-cut answers on Winona. I can do the Staraptor. I can like kind of choose to do any 3 Pokemon, and then the rest is just ass.
This is the story of the one.
Yeah. So anyway, here let me show you Expert Kevin. I'll probably come back and rip that encounter.
Products and next day delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call, click, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
But here's what we got for Mr. Expert Kevin. We start with does Wise Glasses do it? I don't think so. No. We start with Magnet Luxray. I know, dude. I know. Check this. This is the best I found. It gets worse. Streamer, you shouldn't change your I can't do this typing style no more. You should change the title to Indeed Guarantees. I am too stupid to follow exactly what that means, but I enjoyed reading it. Jeez, Mo, you don't like my team? We just straight up allow sticky webs, nuzzle Thunderbolt through and Tim. Uh, easy dub. It means pants grab. Thank you for translating. Luxray out damages everybody except P2 and Rotom guy, so we'll get Rotom for guaranteed Leaf Storm, which is a nice, at least, guarantee to start with. Go us, yay. We just go to Drudagon and we say, hey Drud, you want to win this 1v1 with no Cherry Berry? Sounds great, pal. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to send Drud in there. He's going to click Fire Punch twice. He's going to 1v1 the Rotom because he wants it. Yeah, just because, right? This is the good part. This is the good part of the plan, right? We 1v1 two Pokemon for some risk and some sticky webs. You sent Drud versus Gyarados, huh? That's not bad, right? A little Thunder Punch action. The problem, so the reason that I want Drud here against Rotom is that Drudagon at any HP and regardless of paralysis always baits Porygon 2. That is a very, very valuable thing. There's not a lot of Pokemon that can guarantee me Porygon 2 for attack boost. Drud can. My guy is plus Bidef and has super, super, super good everything. Yeah, dude, this is the all-time Drud. That's why it has like 6 frags, which doesn't sound like much, except it's a Drudagon. So the fact that it's come to like 6 unique fights is already a crazy. Yeah, this was a 0 scale, 0 candy, 3.5 frags on Bridge Rival. If we hadn't missed Hydro Pump, Drudagon was probably taking 5 there. We just didn't get to do the original line. You crit the outrage. My god. Well, Drud is the only thing right now I have that resists both fire and grass, so it's been useful as a pivot a lot, considering I have like 90 steel types. Guys, you have good Pokemon, all right? We know. You have good Pokemon, so your good Pokemon go to the fights and counter the things that they counter. But I don't have good Pokemon, and I don't counter things. So I bring my Drudagon, and I plan for it to 1v1 a Rotom it can't beat. And then I think maybe I can switch it in on a Waterfall later for some Rough Skin chip to confirm a range with Basculegion, which is also in the plan. My Turtle baits Porygon 2 second for a downloaded special attack boost, and my team isn't going to do well with that. Yeah, and I can't afford to have planned sacks. Like, now maybe that's not true, but it's how I feel. I don't feel like my box has enough good Pokemon for me to lose the bad Pokemon. I think I just need all of the Pokemon. So, right, like, and as much as, like, clearly I'm spending a lot of time trying to make these lines work, but this is like, I'm trying to have fun, and I am having fun despite the mental energy going into this stuff. But if I'm gonna lose the few Pokemon that have decent IVs, like, I'm gonna be sad. Drudagon is the only IV nature combo, right? I was like, I'm okay with Drud if it has good Spadef, specifically. Like, that is what I stood there and said. Give me a decent attack stat, good Spadef, I'm down. I don't care about the ability. And then I hit this guy, and it was exactly what my box needed to get through Foretree Gym Trainers. This is the worst box I've ever seen any player have. Like, I remember watching Pichow's run and thinking, like, wow, how, like, his box was so bad. How did he do it? And now I'm sitting here like, man, I wish I had some of his guys. It's just like, we just have steel types. We have a billion steel types, and if we didn't have those steel types, we could have other Pokemon that, like, filled a niche. and we just don't. Um, and then we could have other things like we could have a good Lopunny that could probably do some crazy things, but our Lopunny's minus speed and it doesn't, and 3 speed, and it like doesn't outspeed anything it needs to. No, in hindsight, Pichow's box was not that bad, but in the time he was playing it, he was the only guy that didn't have like a mixed up guy packed starter pack. Um, so if you were like as I was following other people's runs, right? He and Flygon were running side by side, and Flygon had he had the compound-ized Viv, right? Just like carry him through early game, and he had like everything but a Glowbro counter. He had the Hitmonlee with good attack and speed. Like he had all of the early game goats, and he had a good Hammy that went forever. Like he had all this stuff. And then Pichow's like, I have a solid rock Rhyperior and a Dream. What was his fossil? Did he get a fossil? I don't know about. Oh yeah. He got arrow. He had arrow. He had a really good arrow. He had a neutral, hit all the good 31s arrow. But you guys are just distracting me from this ass line I'm trying to tell you about. Right. So Luxray 1v1, Drud 1v1, Porygon 2. The plan is triple Rock Smash. Right. We can be here for a while. We'll hold a Lumberry so we can't get frozen. If we triple Rock Smash and eventually get paralyzed, then eventually we can get a free switch to Basculegion, and Basculegion can just superpower or even liquidation KO. Yeah, we don't have Icy Wind. We have Scald. We dropped Icy Wind a long, long time ago, and we have not looked back. Icy Wind TM has been long forgotten. Yeah, no more Scald gaming. I actually thought about keeping Scald to play around Ice Beam Freeze and keep a Citrus Berry instead, but that would mean dropping Aqua Jet or Defog. And at a little bit of a later point in the game, I would drop Defog since I have the TM. But Lily Cove Rival, like Mega Pidgeot Defog stall is absolutely a thing. So I don't think I think I should still save that TM for a while longer. Otherwise, I just drop the Defog here. And then so I think like obviously Drud can struggle, and if Drud struggles, we're kind of screwed because we don't have any speed. We can maybe finish the Rotom with Overquill, but probably not. And then so the problem's going to be this. We're going to have Gyarados in the back against Basculegion, who we have to think of as being -1 attack and defense. So we'll be outsped and outdamaged by Gyarados. What if I'm not? I think I outdamage both no matter what. Yeah. Which means that we're just going to have Gyarados on the field clicking Thunder Wave, Dragon Dance, or Earthquake. So that's bad. No. Pichow's Unburdened Lucha was on his losing run. That was his attempt 2 or 3. His Lucha run wiped to Pyre Tag. Because losing runs are runs where you scale natures. Pre-Winona, just saying. No, he went for Golisopod in his winning run, and he missed it. I think he got Gyarados because he didn't take Gyarados in Meteor Falls. He got Gyarados into Scorched Slab Octillery, if my memory is right. So I think if it's Gyarados, we just like what I want to do is just Poltergeist twice and hit the range. And we're going to be a little bit spicy and just trust that the P2 doesn't go crazy so we can hold a Citrus because Basculegion needs to take the Gyarados. And it needs to take the Gyarados with enough HP left that we don't get Air Slash Togekiss. I'm sorry, that we don't get Flamethrower Togekiss because the end, and the thing that I could not figure out at all on this fight, other than the other garbage, is Poison Gem, Poison Jab, Overquill, because we are jolly, is a 15 out of 16 range to take Togekiss. As long as we don't switch in on Serene Grace, Flamethrower, Burn. I have no routing. Oh, Gyarados 120. Yeah. Yeah, so we have a Togekiss answer technically, as long as he decides to clutch up. I have held the Poison Gem to show ranges. I have never once used up a Poison Gem before, so I feel very comfortable losing that item. And we are switching in on Air Slash, so we don't always get two-shot. So technically we can miss the range and live. But we don't have a way to switch into something other than Aura Sphere. Other than Flamethrower. Is that right? Sorry, we can't get Aura Sphere. That's what I'm trying to say. We can maybe. If Basculegion is low enough, we could go Penguin to get Aura Sphere, and that gives us better odds, but we can't guarantee it. Rohat Berry, Poison Gem. Thank you, King. Yep, you're the best. The good news is, if Overquill misses the range, we can revenge with our full HP Luxray, right? So Luxray can actually revenge both the Gyarados, probably, right, if the dodge a crit, but can revenge either the Gyarados or the Togekiss pretty successfully. It would be a range on Togekiss as well, but we could just click Nuzzle Zing Zap and have really good odds for Togekiss to not move at all, even if it's nasty plotted on us. So, like, I mean, none of it's good. And then, like, you might be asking, what's Eel doing? So, if Penguin can't do the job on Porygon 2, and Basculegion loses a bunch of HP taking Ice Beams, trying to get a Liquidation drop, then Muscle Band Eel can just not get Waterfall flinched to death, and we can also do some Luxray pivots to lower the attack first, right? Both Luxray with Magnet and Eel with Muscle Band show a kill through Wakanberry with Wild Charge, so we can at least give ourselves no Thunder Wave chance and potential dodge flinch or dodge crit ways out. And I'm okay losing Eel. Eel hasn't really come to anything. So yeah, that's the plan, guys. I could bring something else instead of the Eel, but I really don't know what else would do the job. The fact that Gyarados can set up on the switch just kind of makes everything terrible. Right? Like I could do Carnivine, but Carnivine's not going to prevent additional setup and then gets flinched to death. And I can't lower speed. Yeah. I'm trying to think what my other options were. I don't have a rock move on Steelix. I could teach it Rock Tomb, but it wouldn't, with Sheer Force, it wouldn't drop his speed. If I had another slot for Intimidate, I could do the Drapion Intimidate thing, but I don't have an extra slot. It's just not quite enough. So I'm kind of prepared to run this as is. Does anybody see anything in this box? Any ideas at all how to make the Gyarados safer, given that I have to let it click Dragon Dance. I am very much open to suggestions. Otherwise, I'm just running it like this, or I'm pulling 120 and then looking again. How am I getting into Overgrow? Keep in mind that Gyarados is going to outspeed me after it clicks Thunder Wave or Dance or both. And he's clicking Waterfall to flinch me, so we're going to get para-flinched. I did look at Sceptile. Sceptile was my first idea, but Sceptile seems decidedly worse. Right? Eel can at least get some chip off with Super Fang. Or just go be a hero with Wild Charge. Probably go be a hero with Wild Charge is the play. And then, in fact, I don't even know if you're being a hero. I don't think I muscle band. I think we just citrus this guy. Depends. No, we have to because the answer at the end would be yeah. Thank you, King. You're so helpful. So helpful. That way we could deal 40% and then die. Hey. Oh, it's so bad. It's so cooked. I could probably teach like Mienshao Thunder Punch if I could prevent setup. But the fact that letting him set up once lets him set up again is just disastrous. You can't encore a Pokemon that's faster than you. He's going to be faster than me if he clicks Dragon Dance on Switch. You guys are not listening, or you're trolling. Could be either one. God, I love you people. I must subject myself to this. You know, you're supposed to be talking me into the 120 encounter, but instead you're trolling me, which is just going to make me run this ass and delay it further, which I know Cheesemo at least doesn't want. You guys got to know what you're going for. I'm running it. 5 online. We do have to defog with the Penguin, so we want to click defog and 3 rock smashes, by the way. Excellent plan. We got these goats in chat. I wouldn't say that I expect intelligence, but I'm aware that they have it. Unfortunately, we tend to use our intelligence for evil in the whole court as opposed to as a force for good, but that's okay. It was something. Porygon 2 gets no attack boost and win huge dubskis. Yep. That's true. What are you doing awake right now? What is up with that? Alright, I do have to remember to level up these guys because I don't level up anything in mid-game. So let's do that. I actually have half a mind to go like Aya Papa on Drud, which just opens me up to a bunch of crits, but I think it's technically better odds. We're going to ignore that, though. All right, let me make sure everybody that I'm calcing with is level 69 before I walk into a fight. All right, I at least got that part right. So just to be clear, folks, we have 1 riskless Pokemon. What is that? 1 riskless Pokemon and we're allowing setup on both of the back 2 Pokemon that have setup. We're going to spend a gem for an unconfirmed range, and then everyone can die. Yield Thunderbolt, huh? What does Thunderbolt do for me? Probably nothing on my minus special attack guy. Yeah, nothing at all. Okay. It was so nice to pick someone up after a night out across the river just to find out when they crossed the bridge to the other side. It's closed and the detail... Oh my god, 50-minute detour. That is brutal. I am sorry. All right. We are going to think about this. I think Gastro Acid is potentially more valuable. Super Fang is nice. Thunderbolt's never doing that much. Knockoff's more valuable. Poison Gem on Overquill. Citrus Drud. Citrus Legion I'm the most nervous about. But I'm gonna do it. I think the HP matters enough. Lumberry Penguin. Right, like, oh no, I'm adding a risk. There's like 7 risks. Like, what the heck is the difference? So technically, I think there are 3 different mons that can die here. It's pretty fictional that we actually lose to Gyarados. Like, I think we're going to win this fight. The lose con is Drudagon fails its 1v1 and leads us to a boosting Porygon into some freeze stuff. Like, there's no question there is a wipe condition, but I think the wipe condition is horrific luck as opposed to, like, I don't think this is a wipe plan. I think this is a decent plan considering our tools. And Expert Kevin's just an asshole. Alright, we gotta teach some moves, though. We have a lot of adjustments. Kevin's the GOAT. I'm sure you're Kevin's biggest fan right now. I know y'all support me, but I also believe wholeheartedly that there is a part of a couple of different people that are kind of ready for this run to die. Just so I can stop telling people to play everything and all the other annoying things I drop in their chats. Dude, that Wadi was so bad. That's, it's funny enough, that's the only, like, truly horrible luck fight we've had. Like, it went as badly as it could, other than the fact that Donphan didn't get crit by Ampharos, which was a, risk a crit to wipe. Gotta love that. And it was a range, too, right? That was a range and a crit after the scale. Well, I mean, if it was Ape, I would beat Ape Bridge Rival because, Ape takes 2, and I had a Talonflame, so yeah. And I had 19 Steel types. So yeah, I'm sure that I would have beaten Ape Bridge Rival. And I'm sure I could have, just on, like, experience alone, I'm sure I could beat... Oh, Bridge Rival, sorry. Well, I would have Torterra for Bridge Rival. And I had multiple Pokemon that could click Thunder. So, probably. I couldn't have done Bridge Rival on Turtle Deathless, and I've never done Ape Bridge Rival. I have no idea what it is. So, I don't know. But, But I bet if you but you also looked at this box and were like, this box doesn't beat this bridge rival, because what here switches into Hydro Pump Thunder. By the way, even my grass types died to double crit on Hydro Pump Thunder. Donphan was the only Pokemon that didn't die to that combination. Well, no, but you have to understand that I had exactly 2 leads. I had Drud plus Caracosta, and I had Kangaskhan with Never Melt Ice and Caracosta. Those were the only 2 leads I had to get the Sceptile off the field and then KO something else. Every other lead was just chip or KO Sceptile, then switch. So Druddigon wasn't, like, I literally couldn't have had Druddigon in the back. It wasn't, like, I know I have the Pokemon, but it wasn't actually possible. Yeah. Like, the fact that I looked at Kangaskhan for an hour tells you how dire things were. Right, Kangaskhan gets Ice Punch and Thunder Punch, therefore it could do the job. Oh, yeah. This Drud, I mean, Drud's already like a Penguin rival specialist as far as I can tell. Do I get rid of Outrage for Thunder Punch? I don't think the steer is likely enough to do Thunder Punch, especially since I'm probably going to have chip damage. Yeah, I looked at some fake out sack lines as well, but I couldn't get any better consistent moves. Like, there was the best position I could find, even with a sack off of the lead, was switch Donphan in a random move and hope that Hydro Pump misses. Like, there weren't. It just wasn't. I just didn't have tools, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I had what I had. I found the best thing I could find. It wasn't good, and I ran in it anyway. And then everything went wrong, and we got out deathless. So it all works out. All right, Fire Punch was taught. Rock Smash was taught. We have the items. I think we're it. Yeah. I'm pretty proud of the steer, right? I've been on the record as saying how not good at steering I think I am, especially relative to the kind of careful planning I used to do. It's one of the reasons this run's been so fun, is I don't have the tools to do stuff risklessly, so I have to just kind of, how do I say this? What's weird about knowing you can't do a fight even close to riskless is that you even like walk away from some of the guarantees you do have to play into, like, oh, if I hit this range or if I get a little bit lucky here, I'll have extra HP to help out later, right? So, like, instead of just accepting a little bit of risks in my normal calcs, I'm like going full steer, grab 6 guys who want it, like, just give me the best 6 matchups into the team as a whole, and just play to your outs. And that's been super fun. I do think it's making me a better player, even though it's probably going to not result in, a winning run or anything. It has been really, really, really fun. Which is cool. No, there's no regrets. The Doom calc is real, but it's worth it. Now let's find out how much of an expert Kevin really is. Again, we're hoping for Penguin to get off 4 moves. Do I have a dupes list? I don't. I can show you my encounter list. I shared it at one point and it was a disaster. I'll have to make like a paste bin or something. technically don't know how to do that yet. I know it's simple and it'll be easy. Just don't know how yet. Oh, maybe I can just like post a text list on the cord or something and then link that. That's probably doable. All right, don't let me forget to defog. If we don't click defog on Porygon 2, we do just lose outright. Yeah, here I'll figure it out after this fight. Unless I lose, in which case I won't have to. Plus, it's not as simple as you think, because I don't have a list of them, right? I have I color coded the encounter table, so I know what's duped out, but I don't have the stuff listed out. Oh, copy the export. I have the old save file. Oh, I guess I could just get the hidden power list, and then it's not, because then it's not all the stats and stuff, which is pretty annoying to look at. One more item check. Magnet, citrus, lum, citrus. This citrus feels so sketchy, dude. It's so freaking sketchy. I've told myself many times, never let the Porygon 2 be the reason you lose, but I don't think I can afford it. I'm asking Legion to chain. Oh, and I just realized he's minus attack, so I can't technically even chain reliably. We taught the moves, we got Fire Punch, we got Rock Smash. Thanks for the pre-damage. I think that's the 4th pre-damage joke in the last 30 minutes. Y'all are the best. And then, that's life. I might just get to the Gyarados and just... I can't just switch in what's-his-face, Legion. I'm also considering... We'll just see what happens when we get there. We'll see how it goes. And Kolto's doing great. I'm rooting so hard for him. I have a hard time trolling that guy. He's too nice to troll. I don't know. I find it so easy to hope that good things happen. Obviously, I root for everybody and troll everybody, but I have the hardest time writing out the troll messages to him. Plus, he gets genuinely embarrassed when I glaze him up, so now I just do that. That's my version of trolling. My goal is to get him to admit he knows he's good. That is the goal. He won't do it. Alright, this is Sticky Webs. We're Magnet. -1 Nuzzle into Thunderbolt. Always kills, breaks Sash. We're faster, you know it. Never! I've wiped to Expert Kevin before. This is the only, whether you're talking DD or real deal, this is the only trainer that has wiped me in mid-game. Well, I guess Maxi 2 counts as the mid-game boss. Yeah, so, alright. Only non-boss trainer. Alright. Is there a reason to, go Eel first? No, Eel dies to crit. Okay. Sticky Web! Oh no! Shout out. Shout out to the Sticky Web. Alright, Drud. Don't get crit. Have him, oh my god, could you, oh, here, by the way, quality white herb here. Thunder Wave Miss would go insane. Fire Punch is a guaranteed 2-shot. That is citrus, right? Thank you, just barely. Alright. Let me double check some things here. So Porygon 2 on Drudagon does 55%, 110% with Ice Beam. We're already slower than everything in the back. Nothing else deals more damage than Porygon 2. Porygon 2 already outspeeds, outdamages us, and we have higher SPDEF than defense. There is no way for us to get anything other than Porygon 2 attack boost unless we get Para-Haxed right now. I don't mind the Drud back sprite. I mean, he's an ugly mofo, but he's uglier on the the front sprite. I like as far as Drud goes, it's got like a Roblox kind of vibe. It feels like it could have been a Gen 3 Mon. You know, like it feels in place here. Plus, this is my bridge rival savior. All right, this guy put in the work. By the way, this is enough HP for us to get Waterfall Chip later. Well, T-Wave is not prioritized. It's 40% to T-Wave every turn. So technically, the likely outcome was either 0 or 1 T-Waves. Alright, if I were a real baller, which I am not, I could click a move here to dodge a crit. But that's pretty dumb. Alright. Sticky Web, Clear Body! We are faster than Porygon. He clicked T-Wave and missed. Huge. I remembered. Bozo, Bozo, Bozo! Let's not say that yet. He can do all kinds of stuff. Alright. Even just one Rock Smash is pretty good stuff. So this is already this was like the minimum winnable position. Obviously, we want all of the HP on Legion we can get, and we don't want to have to deal with Ice Beam freezes. Or damage. But it's all good. We also... I didn't really consider this before, but we can probably find a way to finish this with Eel. If we had used the correct berry, we really could have done that. But we can probably try to finish this with Eel. Like if we go Luxray... Luxray's dodging some crits, though. We can do it with either one, right? Do we show KO to both? We don't show KO to Kiss. Alright, let's come back to that thought. We might be able to set up Gyarados for not... because everything's kind of gone okay. We have a decent shot to set up Gyarados for no setup. We'll see. Alright, we take a bunch of these. So I mean, one full para is just like equivalent to the miss. So I can't even say that was unlucky yet. Now we're unlucky. Okay. 2. Bozo, bozo, bozo! Oh, smash these. This Penguin Gaming is real. Penguin Gaming is my gaming. All right, he can recover here as well. I think because he can recover doesn't matter if we go Legion, but we don't want Legion yet. But a free switch to somebody else would be fantastic if it did the job. Luxray max damage is still 65%. Huge. Drud is slower, but can KO with superpower. And does switch in safely onto Tri-Attack, except for, like, I think Tri-Attack crit burn. How much HP do we have? Actually, Drudagon would live all things, which is pretty cool. Invade no setup, if it took the damage on the way in. Regardless of... Yep, okay. So I do think we want to try and set up somebody else for the dub. The question is it better to switch now? Right, switching on a recover turn is better than switching on any other turn, because nobody actually lives double crit from this thing, but we don't do enough damage yet. And we don't outspeed with Eel. So I think Rock Smash is still the play. Right, and recover if we don't get parried is the best outcome. No, Ben, this is the original plan. We are trying to set up a better version than the original plan mid-fight. But this is what we have. I don't think future Rock Smashes help me. I'd rather have Empoleon as a waterfall pivot. Recover versus... Ooh. What HP do we think that is? We did 35%. Do I need to know? Did he recover to full? He did not. He did not recover to full. So, I believe that means that Liquidation always kills. He was in the yellow. He healed a not full. I don't know how much Rock Smash did. What do we think the kind of HP range that is? That looks like 60%. Does that look like 60% to you guys? Yeah, well, my Liquidation min roll is 64.4. I don't think that's 65%. I think that Liquidation kills, and Liquidation Legion is good enough. $59 to $63. Ben, you're the GOAT. Yeah, I think that's good enough. That looks like low 60s to me. I do think it's 60%. I think it's at least 60. Because 50's like, right, 50's like here. Ooh. You guys can't see my cursor, but I can. I'm gonna look on OBS where it's bigger. That could be 65. Does it hurt me to Rock Smash a final time? I don't think it does. Oh no! Okay. Yeah, but until we're dead to crit, like, who cares? Penguin did its job already, right? This is all just trying to set up a better endgame than our original terrible endgame. Ice Beam does 11. Can Tri Attack put us into range? Not really, no. He still is like +6 to recover there. Maybe not. All right, good job, Penguin. All right, now once again, we could be a total baller here. We will not. We will not be a baller here. We could click Aqua Jet. I think that's bad. Because we're just dead to rolls. All right, do we do Luxray? You're -5. He can click Recover here, and Zing Zap always kills after Recover. Luxray will bait Gyarados Earthquake. And that would let me get a guaranteed Intimidate up for free, and it would let me get Rough Skin. Not for free, I would have to pay on Luxray. Ooh, Luxray can't take damage and accomplish that, can it? Only if it's Recover. We can read the Recover, but the price is no guaranteed Intimidate. No, that's worse. No, we just go Legion here. Great job, Penguin. Job done. All right, at -5, Liquidation always kills. Because Penguin got it low enough, we didn't have to click Superpower. We still probably should have been Lum or Cherry here. Oh, this is Intimidate. I'm an idiot. So this is just a bad plan. Do we just risk a crit now? No. All right, so this is EQ Dance T-Wave. Let's read the doc on D-Dance. It's been a minute since I looked at general setup. This is the one that got jacked, right? So it's just +6. Yeah, it's just +6, which means it is equal to T-Wave. This is not that likely to set up. I mean, we've seen my luck, don't get me wrong, but it's not that likely to set up. And if it is, we can get it back to neutral and get Legion back in. So we do need to use our extra resources, which starts with the Eel character. All right, 2 out of 3 moves, though, no damage to this guy. Nice. All right, we gave you Muscle Band, right? Nope, I'm an idiot. How did I change that out? I even did the item check. Okay. So he can set up now here as well. But it doesn't mean we should deviate. Because if he sets up Luxray Intimidate, cancels it out, we're already slower with the whole team. This is why we did the lead, by the way. We did the Luxray lead and let Sticky Webs go up so that we could have a full Intimidate Pokemon in the back to help with the Gyarados we didn't have a good plan for. There's the Dragon Dance. Again, that's kind of fine. We can choose to just risk a crit here on Earthquake. Earthquake does... Every roll of Earthquake crit would kill, so it's just a raw 1 in 16. But it would mean no setup Togekiss, and we could easily set up the finish. So I have to kind of ask myself, is that better? He can't dance here. He's dead to Wild Charge. So we messed up the eel. The whole point of the eel was it was the only thing in my box that was an Earthquake immunity that didn't die to that could prevent setup, and I screwed up the item and let it set up. That's awesome. But it's fine. Also, conveniently, both of them prevent Thunder Wave, so I'm always going to switch on Legion without taking a Thunder Wave. But technically, if he dances forever, he will run out of Earthquakes and make my other matchups better, right? Once he runs out of Earthquakes, Luxray probably beats him. So he cannot dance forever. I have more pivots than he has PP. That was 2 Earthquakes. It's a guaranteed Intimidate eventually. That's 2. The only thing it does mean is if he gets to +6, then Nuzzle still lets him outspeed. So we won't actually do it that many times. If he keeps wanting to dance, we can also just click Super Fang and then never let him dance again, right? The only punish for that is if he Waterfall flinches me on the exact turn I try to go for damage. I was hoping to do that after an Intimidate, truthfully. I think we can let him go up a little bit. Again, it's +6 only, +6. So he's supposed to attack me more often than he clicks Dragon Dance. Thank you. I love this game. Alright, so now it can click Waterfall on the switchback. Eel's never dead to Waterfall, though. We got him to -1. We can never switch Luxray back in. I think we just go Legion here. Yeah. Alright. We also couldn't, like... 2 misses? That's actually crazy. That's crazy. 2 Thunderwave misses, I think that's, again, fair trade on the crit. We got double parried. Oh, we crit him back! We crit you! Shout out to Flygon. We crit! We crit! We crit! Hold on. Does it help? No. Just gotta hit through once. Let's go. All right. The one downside of losing the Penguin HP is we can't do the pivot here. So this is the worst odds for our good friend Overquill, but his odds are really good. This is guaranteed Air Slash. Right? We can't go Eel, right? No, Eel baits Fire move. Eel baits Fire move doesn't show kill, would allow setup, can't do it. Luxray has no HP. Drud baits another Air Slash. Nope. We didn't forget this item, right? Didn't. Overquill! Get in there, buddy! You're the Togekiss counter! Alright, guys. 15 out of 16 rolls kill. And 9 of his rolls don't kill me. I didn't teach Poison Jab. I didn't teach Poison. I didn't check the move. That is a crazy throw. Poison Gem Toxic, the new tech. I checked a lot of things. I just forgot that move. He's also, by the way, he's leftovers. But this guy can set up on us. All right, I think it might be random move, guys. Now, the good news is we can always come back and boom later by sacking a Pokemon. But I think the correct play is to just go Eel. Right, Eel does a really nice job on this with the toxic damage. Do we pivot? I think we pivot first. Legion does good damage. Hold on, let me think about how can we prevent setup for one more turn? If we can prevent setup for one more turn, then Togekiss, then it can't set up after toxic damage. Boom. You guys say boom. All right. Luxray is dead to Flamethrower or any crit. Poison Gem Toxic. Guys, oh man, what a throw! Penguin's dead to everything. Drud lives everything, but doesn't always show kill afterwards. But I think Drud is the best switch in here. Let's see, what's Mineral? If I get Flamethrower, what does that do to me? And by the way, this is double punish for the item on Eel. Double punish. Because if I had Muscle Band, I could just go Eel and have never set up and be fine. Oh, Legion's Parrot, right. Legion's Parrot, this is Serene Grace Air Slash, so going Legion is just like L. Alright, we're gonna risk Drud to exactly... there's two problems, but Drud's the only thing that has a good chance to prevent setup. Drud is dead to 3 rolls of Air Slash crit. And if we get Flamethrower, it can bait setup next turn. Hello. That's bad. Burn me. Crit is good. Crit is good there. This Togekiss forgot that he wasn't Crit Kiss. We're still not always dead to Air Slash. Air Slash is half of rolls kill, so we'll see what we get. But we gave ourselves the best odds. Wild Charge plus Toxic should KO now. So we are dodging a new problem. The new problem is Flamethrower, Serene Grace, Burn. Yeah. We could go Super Fang. Is Super Fang safer? I don't think so. Can he click anything else? He can click Aura Sphere. If we get burned, we still do 35%. If we don't get burned, I think we just KO. We have Citrus, so we're never dying to recoil. We're not dead to crit. We just click the button. Click the button. Come on, Eel. Show me you were the right 6th Mon. Who's the real expert? Easy fight, +1 poison gem. Let's go. Another hose toxic. +1 throw. Oh, I can't take a picture of Poison Gem plus Toxic. That's a big disappointment. Who needs Toga tomorrow? Jesus. 2 Paradmons, everybody's in the yellow. How is that fight significantly worse than Bridge Rival? I spent a day finding an answer to the Togekiss and then don't teach the move that KOs the Togekiss. Incredible throw. But 120 delay continues for now. That's fun. All right, I've kind of looked at these. This one doesn't look great, but at least I can lead it. So yeah, let's take a look. What do you guys think for leading on this Pelipper? Last time there was a Pelipper, it took me 3 Pokemon to beat it. So Pelipper is a problem for the box. This is a rain fight. Any suggestions? I promise you, my idea is worse. Also, please redeem push-ups. I would like to do push-ups. Let's go, Clotted. My hero. Ben, another hero. Let's go. 10 more. All right. Oh, that reminds me. Let me update the push-up counter as well while we're here. I did these. Jay is here. How did I miss that? Jay, when did you get? You just been lurking, waiting to do something, huh? All right, we've done 90, and then we'll update that again momentarily. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Let's see if I can do all 60 tonight. Last time, I've done 30 twice. I failed on 32 the first day, but I think my muscles now remember that push-ups exist, so yeah, maybe I can do more. We're still pathetically weak. But thank you all for supporting my return to health. I be swole. I be small. Small and smoge. Take care, Cherry. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, we're still listening to Pokemon's music. Hold on. That's not workout music. Let's have this relaxing workout music. You do not want to know how many bones just cracked. See if we can do 4 sets of 15 quickly-ish. Probably not based on how those felt. Push-ups to end the night. Yep. Everyone knows do push-ups before bed. It helps you sleep well, right? That's how exercise works. What an ass expert, Kevin. I know I'm doing something right when Cheese just walks into the stream and is like, wow, that team sucks, bro. That's a bad plan. Yes, I did it. Do half now. Jesus. Still can't do more than 30. One day, we will keep at it. Indeed, I'm trying. I'm trying. One of the stream goals here is to, actually get back into enough shape that I can increase it from only 10. It's only 10 that I'm letting them redeem because I can't do more than that. Hey, it's about the journey, right? Unless it's run and bun, then it's about winning the game. All right. The first night I did the whatever it was, like 32 and collapse, I was in pain for 4 days. So sad. But apparently when you have children and basically do cardio once every 2 months for 2 years, it doesn't go well for your fitness level. Who would have thought? Oh, big time. And look, I was like not a gym rat. I've never liked the gym, but like my idea of a fun weekend was going from soccer in the morning to beach volleyball in the afternoon and then relax with rock climbing in the evening. Like that's a good Saturday to me when I was in my early 20s. So the fall from grace is hard to swallow, but entirely self-inflicted. All right, so here's the deal. I found exactly one Pokemon that 1v1s the Pelipper without risking a crit, and that Pokemon is Hidden Power Electric Clawitzer with a Person Berry. Clouded, it's exactly the kind of thing I did not like. I know that the gym rats were not judging me, but I always felt judged anyway. I just I don't like staring at myself in the mirror. It's just not my vibe. And I know enough to know to not pretend that I enjoy something I really don't enjoy when there are so many good ways to exercise. All right, so claw leads, always baits Decidueye, always baits random move Decidueye. Gotta love to see that. On random move guy, we can go to Weavile. Weavile lives random move, and then with a black glasses, we click knockoff. Knockoff KOs. He can't sub because we were switching it on a random attack. Yeah. It's funny, I would think, so I make a point. I don't know, it's like a dad thing. I make a point to lift both of my sons at the same time every day, and they combine for like 60 pounds. So I carry them around quite a bit. I take them up and down the stairs. And it doesn't, like I'm breathing real hard right now. I'm not breathing hard when I do that. So it's just, I surprised myself with how weak I got because I lulled myself into thinking those little stints of play were enough to keep me from falling completely apart. And they weren't. All right. Oh my God, what a terrible plan. Check this Golduck plan out, guys. Yeah, well, yeah, the push-up specifically, I wasn't doing anything for. It's just so in rock climbing, one of the most typical injuries is, all right, it's all the pulling injuries from climbing. So your elbows can kind of take a beating. So one of the best ways to counteract that motion and like to protect your muscles is actually to hold the bottom of a push-up, because like this position with pressure is excellent at stretching out this or going in the opposite direction of your regular exercise. So to go from push-ups being my literal rehab and like the thing that protects me to being the thing I can't do is humbling to a very, very, very high level. So Weavile is probably baiting Surf from this guy. However, if he does Leaf Blade crit exactly, then we could also get Ice Beam, which we don't like. But Prim can switch in, can hold a Lumberry, and as long as we don't get Ice Beam Freeze into Hypnosis, we can get ourselves a slow flip turn off. Yeah, well, I only did push-ups off stream once since my last set on. I have to do them in between. So like step one was just like, remember, I like it. I like the feeling of having a little bit of a pump. I had to remind my body that exercise feels good, not bad. And now that I have that, I have a fighting chance. I actually genuinely like push-ups. And I can do at-home workouts, but they have to be short and sweet. I'm not lifting for 90 minutes. I'm not doing anything with big rest periods, but I can get behind, I can do a lot with body weight. I've had to out of necessity. The hard thing for me with at home is once I'm comfortable, I'm never getting up to start. So if I'm gonna work out after a long day at work, I have to come home, not sit down, not talk to my kids, not help out the wife, just put on workout stuff and hit it. And that's nearly impossible to do. I feel so unfair as a husband and father that she's home all day and I'm gonna not even help out when I walk in. I think you can do it in 30. I really do. All right, so flip turn prim with a lum. Once again, we have the problem that everything dies to surf crit. So we could just like, we probably should just flip turn into Luxray, dodge 4 rolls of crit, and then go nuzzle Thunderbolt with the chip and KO this guy. But I don't like that. So I have a worse idea. And my worse idea is to go Sceptile. My God. If I go Sceptile off of the slow flip, I don't die to Ice Beam crit. The Psychic Gem is likely to be gone, so I'm assuming it's always Ice Beam for the purposes of being prepared. And then the plan is actually to click Giga Drain, not Energy Ball. Energy Ball's a range to kill after flip turn. It's a very good one, mind you. But Giga Drain is never a range to kill unless I crit. And if I set that up and Ice Beam doesn't crit or freeze, sorry, if it doesn't crit exactly, oh, there's overlap. Never mind. That sucks. The overlap ruins it. What I thought I could do is go Arcanine, E-Speed, and then chain the Scissor. But even 1 roll overlap into Arcanine just dying to Surf feels really awful for a cheeky play like that. Yeah, when you're, well, so if I think lifting, if you're doing like either powerlifting or just like traditional, more traditional style, if you're doing lifting properly, you're taking more time than I'm talking about. But if you're trying to get a strength slash cardio, just like general fitness workout, where maybe you have some dumbbells and you have your body weight and like, I don't know, maybe some like resistance bands for abs and stuff. Like I can beat the crap out of myself in 25 minutes. Like it doesn't, there's a reason I don't have carpet in this office so that I can get to a full sweat in 10 minutes and get a really, really good workout. But yeah, but I'm taking no rest, right? If you can't do good heavy lifting like that. And honestly, like I've kind of outgrown heavy lifting. That's just in my past now. All right, do we have a better option here? Ooh, we do. We do have a better option. Escav, you goat. Hold on, we're cooking. So, Chestoberry Escavalier. Off of the slow flip means we got ourselves a guarantee. And so Escav can get Scary Face off and lower his speed. And after we take a single surf, we're always dead to exactly another surf, so we can switch on anything, aka the one thing that outspeeds him at -2. right? Not you. You're pretty good over there. Hmm. Okay, let's check out this Turtonator idea. So we go to Sceptile. Sceptile can now hold damage boost, so it always KOs. So Miracle Seed Sceptile always KOs. Golduck. We can't Miracle Seed, sorry. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we're switching in on Surf. We outspeed because of the scary face, right? Yep, we KO with Energy Ball, and then we get Bug Bite Acrobatics. We get guaranteed not Sword Stance. Okay, and then with Charcoal, Overheat always kills. Do we live any 2 hits? We live any hit into Acrobatics other than Acrobatics. 56 and 37 is less than 100. So Turtonator just 1v1s him. So I think this is cool. Yeah, you've got the love, right? For me, that's the beach volleyball thing. I want to play that until I'm 50, 60 even. It's a life passion. To a degree, bouldering the calls to me like that as well, but it's not the same. All right, Turtonator has to get leveled up for this. What a weird way to do this fight. We have the Swift Swim Pokemon. We're just going to leave it at home. We have the water types. Poor Wailord, level 50. My college roommate was exactly that, and actually was a pretty darn good rock climber. But I won't lie to you, it doesn't help. Not having like up long arms is pretty brutal. All right, everybody needs to get leveled up. All right, moves first, since that's what I forget the best, I suppose. Yeah, although I thought that when I started out, and I've seen some crazier. So guys just got so much more talented than me that were shorter and did all the things I couldn't do. Um, there's an eventual point, but where I thought that there were climbs I couldn't do, um, I later became disillusioned. Oh, you gotta want it way more. But I mean, you're talking to a guy that's sub 6 foot playing again in volleyball against guys that were averaging 6'4", 6'5". Like I remember going to club nationals in college, giving up 7 inches to the shortest player that I had to block. Like, if you like sports and you're not tall, you're at a disadvantage. That's just life. Um, I'm pretty accustomed to wanting it more, Jay. That's why this run's still alive. Everybody wants to do things with attempt one and complete ass, but you have to want it. You have to want it bad enough to doom calc. You have to want it bad enough to not explode your your whatever when you screw up. It's not a sport. Let's not pretend Pokemon's a sport. But the mindset of like the answer is there if I'm willing to put in the effort to find it. I removing the excuse of I'm not fast enough, tall enough, talented enough, smart enough, don't have the right encounters, whatever you want to say. I just try to take that out. I don't care if it's in the Olympics. I got lots of things that people think are sports that I don't think are sports. Here is my very basic definition. It's not a complete definition, and not everything even fits it. I will admit that. I'm not telling you it's perfect. But this is my starting point. If it is a sport, you can get in shape by doing it. Not by training for it, but the act of doing it is enough to get you fit. Right? So the bowlings and the golfs and even like baseball, which I don't think anybody's ever told you baseball's not a sport. Um, but right, being in shape makes you better at all of those things, but none of those things get you in shape. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to call baseball a sport, but there is a literally a position on the team now whose job it is to not even play the field and just go up every 30 minutes and strike out 80% of the time anyway. Not 80, you know what I mean. Designated hitter. Like, can we just like right? I'm a Philly guy. L- Look at me with a straight face and tell me that Kyle Schwarber is an athlete in the way you thought about athletes as a child. I understand that offensive linemen are great athletes. I understand that Kyle Schwarber is incredibly athletic, but he is also significantly overweight. Like, come on. I love Kyle Schwarber. That's why I'm picking him as the example because it can't be coming from a position of hate. I'm picking on my guy, arguably my favorite Philly. All right, I think the correct drop here is Dragon Pulse. It has the least super effective options. Yeah, but in lifting, like right, muscle mass is legitimately a part of you being better at it. Um, the myth of I am bigger, therefore hit baseball farther has been debunked, right? It is a rotational event, much like golf, um, or really any of the rotational things. Hitting home runs and excess weight do not benefit you, right? It just makes you less flexible. So it is counterproductive to the sport. Yeah, he's like a 40 home run guy a year. Um, he plays the field. He's a designated hitter only at this point. He plays the field like 10 times a year. For whatever reason, he makes an error every time he plays. He still gets more has more errors than the actual left fielder. What's up? What's up, bro? To see. Welcome in, man. This is the run. I don't know about that, but we're having a grand old time. We are we are just throwing ass at the wind, chatting, hanging out at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. How are you doing, friend? They're super fun to watch. I like, it's not an entertainment thing, right? But we got into the topic of what's a sport? I led myself to it. I'm not pretending I didn't. And baseball's kind of the wonky one. It's not the only one. There's other things like I've never thought about running as a sport. To me, running is like, a part of sports. Oh, Bartolo Colon was, oh my God, yes. Dude, and he had so many cool plays. Bartolo was a trip, man. They didn't make many like him. Where's my black glasses? There you go. And then it's Lum Miracle Seed. All right. I don't I think this fight is very, very, very safe. It is technically not riskless, but it's as close to riskless as a fight has been for us in a long time. I'm with you as a lifelong lover of baseball. I was sad to see the special pitcher moments go away, but you just had to slog through so much bad gameplay for those few moments. Like 100% the right call as the old guy, a little bit sad to see it happen anyway. Yeah. Yeah, and there weren't that many pitchers that were competitive at the plate. Like again, to go in Phillies, we used to have Randy Wolf was pretty good up there with a bat. He would hit over 200. Um, the Marlins had Dontrell Willis who hit like 270. He was a legit threat. If you go farther back, it's like the old Braves 90 pitchers were all like incredible bunters who would bunt for a hit regularly, always move the runner. Like the craft of pitchers being good bunters was something I enjoyed, but again, I get like that's not bringing the casual fan in. Yeah, Bartolo Colon was a pitcher, and I believe he is the oldest player ever to hit his first career home run. So if you're looking for a good clip of big, sick, sexy hitting dingers, you should have a pretty easy time finding it. Do not hold me on that Major League Baseball history knowledge. Here's how old school I am. I listen to the baseball games on the radio. I don't watch them. I have to listen to the radio on an app now, but that's how I do it. Okay, I'm not crazy. Hidden Power Electric is going to KO the Pelipper, and we always live crit. Cool. I'm glad I was able to see the curse end for the Red Sox. That was pretty special. All right. This fight should be fine. I'm going to keep the music going. Let's just make sure. Let's check the items moves. Items too. So Hidden Power Electric, Black Glasses, sorry. Persm Hidden Power Electric, Knockoff Black Glasses, Charcoal Overheat. Let's make sure rain is up for my overheat range. Yep, rain is up. NFL is a crazy take. NFL is one of the most interesting sports, I think, as long as you know what's going on. I think it's hard to get into. Baseball, I totally understand. It's super slow. There's no action. Um, I enjoy the gamesmanship of football, American football, just as much as I do the action itself. As someone that loves coaching, and I know you love coaching, well, if you watch, I mean, if I watch the all of the games, sure, one game of football is going to take me 3.5 hours. I mean, most sports take a couple of hours, but the coaching, what happens off the field matters almost as much as what's on the field, and and it is the truest team sport. Sorry, not just team, because things like rugby is also an amazing team sport, but it is the best combination, in my opinion, of the players matter, the teamwork matter, the stardom matters, the coaching matters, the GM matters, right? In most sports, stars sell and stars win, and they matter in the NFL. They do. But great coaching, fundamentals, and teamwork will beat stars every time. Game plan wins. And I love that. It is the only sport I know of at the highest level where that's true. Where the best player on the field is like 51% likely to win. Yes, that's well said. Well said. Yeah, baseball's more of a, yeah, that's a great way to say it. It's like it's background. I think we're good. Get in there, Claw. Yeah, I've never been able to watch cricket well. Guys, first Clawitzer frag feels good. We got this. We're Pursum. All right, Starfberry, Decky Dewey. We take random move. This is like the only time all game that sneeze that this guy is taking physical random move and living. Kind of crazy. And then it's knockoff, not icicle crash, because we're black glasses. I love soccer football, which I have no idea how to talk about that in streaming when it's international. But so I'm just going to stick with soccer, not out of disrespect, but out of convenience. Grew up playing it, love watching it. Some of my best friends are soccer diehards only. Um, got me back in. I've retired from soccer 3 times because I keep getting injured and they keep pulling me back. It's a great, great game. Um, but the fact that you can tell me that American football is boring and then you can go watch a billion 0-0 ties where everybody just plays a defensive shell and passes around the midfield, like, can we both admit that both games have boring parts, but if you are invested in the teams, they are compelling even when they are monotonous? I think that there are more similarities than differences between those two sports. Guaranteed surf. Ass football is ass. Yeah, well, boring NFL is ass too. But, when it's not ass, it's awesome. That's that's the point. All right. Psychic Gem Psyshock. Slow flip turn. We go Escav. Escav has, I was supposed to Chesto, so this might be -1 lum. But we Scary Face. He surfs, no -1 lum. can't get crit. -2 speed. Cheesemo loves when I click non-damaging moves. Anything to annoy that guy is a good play. BJJ. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. Yeah, I don't find the grappling sports compelling, but do you think of them as sports? I just think of them as fighting. Like, I don't know, somehow we keep expanding the definition of sport. Like, to me, calling something not a sport isn't even disrespectful. It's just like, I don't know why we have to continually expand the label sports. Like, there are already good labels to define things. Yeah, I'm with you. They're fighting and they're awesome and athletic and impressive. Um, like all of a sudden there are, like, I know that we now make dance competitions, for example, but dancing has been art since the beginning of time, and then all of a sudden it's not art anymore. Now it's a sport because we put judges on it. Like, it's art. I'm competitive art. I don't really know how to split that hair. It's interesting to me how somehow sport is the only descriptor that makes something impressive, and anything else is an insult. Sure, but it's still like, when I think of a fight, you don't often want to actually hurt the person. Yeah, usually I would say one of the two people in any kind of physical altercation is just trying to get the thing to end. All right, we're dead to 2 moves. We don't care which it is. Turtonator wins. That is the worst move, and he high rolled. Let's go. Overheat. Shell Armor Turtles win. 2 fights in 1 stream? What is happening? Man, if I didn't delay an encounter, this wouldn't even be me streaming. All right, we get out of the rain. This is the double. The double should be pretty easy, but I didn't actually plan it. Can I just do Mag Mortar instead? What was I doing before? Okay. Let's do it. Let's use Mag Mortar, because that's kind of fun. Alright, so Mag Mortar lead plus Caracosta. Caracosta's still level 66 in the box. Do we need to be level 66? We don't, but 60. Oh, we do. 66 is perfect. Great. So we bait Revelation Dance. Oh, the kick 6. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't even need to watch it. One of the most insane plays ever. I was still very into college football at the time and watched that one live. That was special. And football has so many moments like that, right? The named plays. That's how you know. In American football, there are like 20 plays ever that are named, and they transcend everything. It doesn't matter who you rooted for. It doesn't matter where you were. They just everyone knows. Kick six, immaculate reception, Philly special, and many more. There are just a few named plays and named games. Yeah, yeah, it's so true. At that time, that team was unbeatable. The game was over. The fans were leaving. The bookies were already paying out. It was just over until it wasn't. The original Hail Mary. Yeah, imagine being such a named play that you got added to the playbook.
Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly, Origi!
Oh, the quick kick. Oh yeah, it's a good one. Oh, that's a very good one. All right, so I'm gonna try to lock in and do another fight because I have to go to bed somewhat soon. I'm gonna cut myself at midnight, and I do want to get close to actual like I want to be able to cook Winona the next time I'm offline. So Caracosta, protect Heat Wave, and then Caracosta. Do we have a? Oh, this is the problem with like Energy Ball plus right now. So I'm gonna go back to my other lead because Arcanine has the E-Speed thing. Yeah, it's all about the rivalry, man. So hold on. How's the okay? Damage is fine. So Arcanine overheat down to Sash, and then E-Speed. Caracosta switches out. Oricorio's clicking Revelation Dance on somebody. We need to go to something that takes Revelation Dance and is dead to something else. I believe that's Carnivine. Yep, Carnivine is just ass enough to do the job. Take Revelation Dance, bait Air Slash, and random move Venomoth. Who takes random move Venomoth? Plus Air Slash. Oh yeah, Rivalry Week is insane. With the college football playoffs becoming a thing, I feel like the rivalries aren't as much as they were. It's not to make myself sound really old, but I kind of stopped watching college football when the playoffs became a thing. Not that the old ranking system was good either. I got really into the finer details of high level NFL play, is the truth, and stopped having free Saturdays. But there's nothing like the rivalries. The NFL has very few true bitter rivalries, and college has so many. Yeah, the transfer portal's tough because I am all for anything that is pro player in any sport. I'm all for, right? Like I don't like all the different helmets, but they're protecting players and letting them be healthy. I don't like the transfer portal because your favorite players leave and there's no loyalty anymore. But the schools aren't loyal to those players, right? You convince a kid to go and be a scholarship player for 4 years and then you sit them. Like there is no solution to that stuff. Um, so to me, the transfer portal is the right thing, but I still get to dislike it. Yeah, I think they should just be professionals. I don't the myth of amateurism mattering is ridiculous. These these players are bringing in millions of dollars to big schools. Big schools already get all the recruits, so I don't want to hear that the little guy can't compete. The little guy already can't compete. Um, let people get paid. For a lot of these people, sports is the thing. They have one shot to make money in life, and we are saying you're not allowed to make money for a few more years. And that's just cruel for no reason. Oh yeah, not pennies. They weren't allowed to make anything, right? So they would right? The school owns, like, let's say the school owns the footage of a game. So the school can let a brand use the footage of their star player in an ad, and the school gets paid for the ad to be run. The school sells tickets because their player's being advertised. The school makes money on the merchandise sold for the player, and the player gets to go to school for free and not get an education because they're too busy entertaining the other students. Totally broken system. I don't even think that's a hot take. I don't think that I'm saying something political. That's just like obviously exploitation. Um, for the big name schools, right? There's lots of unfamous schools that don't have a lot of money that aren't profiting off of their sports in any meaningful way. Um, and so great, that'll continue. Like it, right? You're not affected by it. You might get one less star than you used to. Okay, so Carnivine's in. So now we have to take Bug Buzz, Sludge Bomb, Air Slash, and I think we can. Who though? This is where I want to set up something consistent. I don't want to just like I could just slap a guy in here, but I've seen enough people get messed up on this fight. I don't really want to be one of them. What I would like to do is get Kabutops on the field to click a rapid spin, but I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. So step one, let's just get this switch in. Can it be Steelix? I'm pretty sure it was Steelix before. So Steelix takes random move from you, including drop, and is never dead. But it's not doing anything with that switch in. Oh yeah, I forgot about. Yeah, I missed that message. And then players get ostracized and successes removed or penalized even because they were marginally compensated for what they did. Yeah, that's a very important addition to the context. Yeah, schools have literally been shut down for taking care of the people that make them popular. It's crazy. Capitalism, man. It's it leads entities to do crazy things. I'm not an anti-capitalist, but I am anti some of the things that people do in it. Yep. Crazy stuff happens, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. Oh yeah, I just legitimately looked at Mian Shao and asked myself, I wonder if I can switch Mian Shao into this into this air slash. Yeah, Mian Shao's never taken a super effective move in its life. Can I go Penguin? Yeah, college football lore is absolutely insane. Very, 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 very true. All right, maybe the answer is, can I get something other than Carnivine so I can get guaranteed Sludge Bomb? Because Caustic can switch in on Sludge Bomb, Air Slash, and solve all my problems. As much as I want to bring Carnivine, because of Carnivine. I have to take Rev Dance. I have to take just Rev Dance. Right. Rev Dance, Bait, Sludge Bomb. I don't have much to bait Sludge Bomb. Nope. No, it's only Grasser. Okay. All right. No, let's just follow this through. All right. So we'll go Zone. Zone helps out quite a bit, and then or is it not Zone? Is it just like switch in Weavile? Certainly. What happens if we get Weavile on the field? Let's. What am I missing? I'm missing a way to beat exactly this Oricorio. Surely Floatzel does that. Okay. So let's bring Weavile, because Weavile can position on the Oricorio. Can click Fake Out Icicle Crash. Do we need Black Glasses on you? We don't. So we can just never melt. Okay. You and Floats will just win as long as Floats doesn't try to switch into Oricorio. Alright, I think this is fine. Sorry, Magmortar. Really wanted to bring you. I think that college football is the closest thing to structure of sport we have in the rest of the world. You say the rest of the, like, I agree that the college divisions make me think of like relegation, especially now where teams are changing divisions or leagues pretty often. So it does feel like, right, like the SEC versus like, the MAC-10, and like those are essentially different levels of even the highest level of college football. Is that kind of what you mean? I don't know if the other major sports in the world even have that. I'll admit I'm not outside of soccer and a tiny bit of rugby. I don't really know what else is world stage like that. Used to have a Floatzel appearance. Floatzel Carnivine. It's like we're playing early game. Grass. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Like this is my town, therefore it's my team. Very true. Magnezone. There's no way I'm exploding Magnezone. I love this guy. I have so many boom mons. Just wait till I figure out I'm going to double boom Pyre and not even blink twice. The allegations. They'll never stop. All right, let's go Persum in case we get accidentally Teeter Dance ruined on at least a couple of guys. Let's go Persum on you, actually. Yeah, we seem to be slowly getting to that point. But the schools are going to fight it the entire way. As much as that seems inevitable, and I agree with you, we live in a world where it's impossible to get things, not in the world, in our country, it is very difficult for those without money to get things to change so that they get a larger share. The players have leverage, which is pretty rare. There's not a lot of situations like that, which is why I think it's inevitable. But it's going to be painful every step of the way. Every step of the way. Right? The silent people that control college football don't want that. Yeah, right. It was the first step, the first crack in the armor, and it just kind of shows that everything can be undone. All right, let me make sure. Floatzel, you outspeed all these guys, right? Even though you suck, you outspeed every one of these Oricorio. No, you speed tie the electric one, but Weavile one-shots the electric one. It switches in on. Oh, it doesn't switch in on random move. It switches in on random, not Feather Dance. So do we just go, and we can't go from Carnivine? That sucks. Okay. So there's some potential pivoting. Do we have a guy that baits not Rev Dance? I guess the answer is that I can just switch Carnivine back in. Yeah, so we're gonna Citrus Carnivine so we don't get stuck. And then we're cool. Now we should have the tools. We just have to not KO the electric Oricorio until we can have the right position. Okay, one more time. Citrus. There's an argument for Persum, but I'm going to go Citrus given the fact that I don't actually have the moves planned out. Persum, yes. Citrus, yes. 66. I don't think Carnivine needs to be 66. Let me check that. I'm pretty sure that we'll be dead at 69 as well. Not 69, but 68. 68 is fine. So let's level up to 68. Let's put that in the calc, export it, and get in there. Persum, not Persum, never melt ice. Okay. Okay, Intimidate doesn't matter against the special moves. We overheat first so that we don't take recoil. We protect. Energy Ball, Revelation Dance. Great. Special attack falls, doesn't matter. We E-speed. We switch to Vine. Okay, Rabambi down. Rev Dance hits. We're always dead to both, so he can't do anything. We Flare Blitz. We go to Zone. Take a double up, even with crit drop. You're dead. Okay. Zone takes anything. Arcanine is getting... Sorry, both slots are getting Rev Dance or Feather Dance right now. Arcanine can die to Revelation Dance crit, so Arcanine has to switch out. I think the correct play is to just go Weavile. If he attacks me, then we're fine. If he doesn't attack me, we fake out, and then we have Floatzel fake out while we position like a Costa or something. We can work with that. Is that right? Is that what we want to do? Yeah, I think I'm going to double switch. We're going to go Weavile here. And Magnezone is also Revelation Dance, right? It's always Revelation Dance. Could be Icy Wind for speed control. That's also annoying. Because of Icy Wind chance, I still think I have to go Weavile. Weavile won't be dead to anything, even though we'll be slower, so yeah, that's fine. Weavile, Carnivine. So this is like, yeah, that was one option. That's fine. So now we fake out. And is that what we want to do? Can we just go Floatzel? I don't even know why I fake out. Can't I just go Caracosta? On Air Slash? It doesn't really matter. I can fake out, go Costa. It doesn't change anything. This is always Air Slash Carnivine, right? 149. This is always Air Slash into Carnivine. Already. So left slot is free. To go Floatzel. And then we go back to Costa. There's Air Slash. Now we have Fake Out active. So we can go to Weavile. Because I think these two just win. Right? We outspeed both. Your Fire Gem, but Liquidation, Icicle Crash is a KO. And then the final guy, Weavile, just KOs by itself. So yeah, the one we don't one-shot has a fire gem. The one that we do one-shot has an Eye of Papa Berry. There's no reason to fake out, right? We just kill this. We do. We Icicle Crash. Okay, Fire Guy, Liquidation, and another Icicle Crash. Okay, and then we'll flip turn for funsies, and we will click another Icicle Crash. Right? Icicle Crash still KOs because we're never melt. Let's double check that we're never melt before we click it. Beautiful. Weavile is good. We did it, guys. We did a riskless fight. All it had to do was be entirely free and get Swift Swim Kara cost of value. Shout out to Dave, who says that Swift Swim is better. I remember this fight being awful. Like, can't prevent rocks style awful. Probably not, because while I have limited, I mean, one, you're joking, I know that, but you're still going to get the real answer. My limited knowledge of Weavile tells me that Weavile is a Life Orb merchant because it already struggles with ranges. And I don't have access to Life Orb. So the likelihood that Weavile is actually that much better with scales, I find hard to believe. Surely he invests his scales in a range merchant. E4 though, I'd happily change his nature for the E4. But you know, if you run out of scales and then lose to Magma Hideout, you don't get to play the Elite Four. I mean, his name is Calm Mighty. How can I get rid of it? I use my resources when I need them. But I don't rush into it. Yeah, like I use my poison gem, right? I do what I want. I use the tools at my disposal. I'm not sure that I would say I use my resources. I would say I use what I have. Okay. So the truth is that Empoleon probably beats this Clefable most of the time. That's why I'm not an Ape runner. Yes, the few times that I ran Ape with some level of seriousness, I tried to delay Fake Out or Overheat, and the lesson that I learned is that if you're running Ape, that's probably a bad idea, because it makes Ape just a regular Pokemon. Right? Like, Ape is broken with the scales. It's not broken without them. And it's only broken with plus speed, right? I didn't do most of my Pokemon, my run and bun timeline does not include save stated starters. So, right, take away plus speed and take away the scale moves and tell me with a straight face that Ape is a functional starter, let alone the best one. Yeah, no, you can get by without Overheat for a while, but special fire coverage is really important in this game. And Ape having overheat lets it slot compress so many times where it does like a fake out sash lead or close combat something and then overheats a special guy later. Yeah. But like, right, I don't believe that Ape's the best starter with fake out and overheat because I factor in the fact that you've lost an extra scale. That's an unpopular opinion, but not unheard of. If you take away fake out and overheat, it's not. It might be the worst starter then. Take away overheat, it's still got flare blitz. And now you have a flex slot. You can keep mock punch. Mock punch is a thing you kind of want a couple of times later on. But Ape without fake out, significantly worse. It does so many focus sash Pokemon. Yeah. And one of the ways that I think about the starters, which is probably the wrong way, is how does an average one perform? How does an average Ape perform? How does an average Penguin perform? How does an average Turtle perform? And Turtle kind of blows the other two out of the water in that version of it because an average Turtle is still decent. Even a minus defense Turtle can win the game, Soy Chow. Penguin has so many ranges that are exactly 50% to prevent setup in early and mid game. Like, if you are missing even just a couple of special attack or a couple of speed, you're kind of doomed, right? It can't do the Pidgeot if it doesn't have 31s in both those categories. So it's just like, it doesn't even do the things it's designed to do. The only thing I can think of for that, Torterra has struggled with Watson. If it's minus speed, it doesn't outspeed Zone. If it's not nearly max speed, it doesn't outspeed Azu. But it's still taking 2 Mons on Norman, even if it can't do the Azu. Yeah, Ape's the most IV dependent. It's right. Ape is again. If you ignore preference and you ignore the scales, right? Just like full power Ape is the best starter versus full power Turtle or Penguin. But it's only that good because it's exactly a starter. If Ape were just a regular encounter in the game, right? If the Hoenn Egg were the actual starters and we were just getting a random IV'd potential Infernape, it would be a box warmer for a good number of trainers. Right? You get a minus speed or a minus attack Ape, you never pick it up again. It sits in the box, maybe it clicks, you spend a scale to click overheat twice. Like, think about how ass it would be a lot of the time. It's crazy. Yeah, he'd be like a Mienshao, like, oh man, I struggle to switch this in. It takes so much damage. It would still be fine. Don't get me wrong, because I've had Blaziken, and Blaziken is not that bulky and does well, so it'd still be good. I'm overstating how bad it would be. It would only feel bad if you also thought it was, like, if you knew what it could be at plus speed. Like, it's all relative. Okay, how do we do this? Sorry, I'm going to review my notes on this one, but I'm pretty sure that my exact wording says this is ass. Yeah, here's my plan, and underneath my plan, it says this seems bad. Ready? Here's the plan. Gigalith lead. That sounds like your average Clefable lead. Gigalith lead. Hope for rocks. Citrus Berry Bulldoze. Deal 50 damage. Switch to Penguin. Take rocks plus an attack. Flash Cannon. Defog. Citrus. Yeah. Yeah. And then KO. I feel like people would just usually just leave Penguin here. But I don't think it actually does it. What if I go Surf? Can I like... I don't want to Rock Tomb. I really don't want to use this TM. It's the only speed control TM. Well, no, I have Electroweb, but I only have one Electroweb user. Right, Rock Tomb is really useful, so I don't want to just throw it away on a Clefable of all things. Surely the answer isn't Nuzzle. I've thought about Knockoff too. Knocking off the Life Orb seems pretty important. But I think I had Eel here before too. Yeah, I think Penguin Lead's just bad because I'm taking, not lead, but 77. Taking Moonblast. So we're taking 3 hits, which means we're really low. We can, I mean, that technically can even lose through Citrus. So we have no way to know that it's actually going to be Gliscor if this is what we do. We would have to do more damage. Alright, so do we just like Kabutops first to do nice things? Or use the Poison Gem we didn't use? I could just use the Poison Gem. But like for real use it. By the way, Life Orb would totally take the range here. There's been so many times when Life Orb would do the job. I could send the range with Poison Jab. How many rolls? 5 rolls don't kill? That's not a very good range. Third Monkey, what's up? Welcome in. I'm always a little bummed you're West Coast because you catch the tail end. I'm probably 30 minutes max. You missed I don't think cinema is the term because I took 20 minutes to do the fight in the fight, but we ran a very terrible line on the first gym trainer in this gym and got through it, despite the fact that I had the worst new tech you've ever seen. Poison Gem Toxic. I was supposed to teach my Overquill Poison Jab so that I could run a range, but I'm so allergic to running ranges that I never taught Poison Jab, and I just had a useless item on my mod. Yeah, but we steered out. Overquill lived on 1 HP. Hilarious. So now we're considering using the Poison Gem that we already shouldn't have to lead this fight, which is actually sounds pretty good to me right now, since my original lead was ass. Can Donphan do this? Donphan does it if he clicks Stealth Rocks. So Donphan would what? That would be Rapid Spin, Earthquake. Rapid Spin, Earthquake. Yeah, I mean, usually my fraudulent steer is don't have answers. I had answers. I dug through the box and I used Overquill to counter a Togekiss. Overquill with its mighty 65 base Spadef. not a Togekiss counter, but mine's Jolly. It's 30 attack. With the Poison Gem, it was still a range. It was the only thing we had, and we still couldn't switch it on Flamethrower. I found one thing in the scraps and scrubs, and then still didn't bring it. That's not usually my type of throw. Like, actually, forgetting item is my original type of throw, or forgetting move is my most common throw. I should not say that, but usually the fraudulent steer is just not having the answer. Which bad lead? Am I really gonna greed the gem? I don't think so. I don't think greeding the gem makes sense. I think we just do it. Can Lopunny just like fake out double edge? All right. Does Lopunny get like Smart Strike? Yo, I didn't keep Copycat, but Copycat Stealth Rocks would go so hard on this battle. 3 flying types. I mean, one's also ground. That would be sick. I don't think Lopunny does. No, it doesn't. Okay. Do you get Poison Jab? You do not. Right, and those are the only 2 things that KO Fairy. And I don't think... Oh, no. Penguin sits on, like, all of these guys, right? So the second option is to not worry about no rocks and get rid of them later. Like, I think... not using Penguin in the lead is a much better Crobat answer. Anyway, I mean, I understand that we can get Hypnosis, but I think we're better off leaving rocks up. Crazy as that sounds. Not Legion, because Legion is slower than Clefable. What? These were not words I thought I would utter today. Slower than Clefable. And then fake out Last Resort wouldn't do it, right? I need to just have Last Resort be on this set for calc purposes. So let's do that. Kang, you don't need Crunch. You can have Last Resort for the viewing of it. Yanxiao Jab. Poison Jab Yanxiao exists. What I drop, probably hard to drop Vacuum Wave on Regenerator guy, but this just doesn't switch in anymore. I think Drain Punch is still our best move. Vacuum Wave's probably the most niche. Most of the it's like Cloisters. Am I really switching in on Cloisters? We got the King's Rock one. Well, let's just see. Does it work? Does it even work? Fake out plus Poison Barb. This looks like another If I Had a Life Orb. If I had, yeah. You guys know that what is that? Fiddler on the Roof. If I had a life orb. can't. Oh, wait, hold on. Level 69. You don't even do the job with gem. So do we just... Let's just say we're doing the gem lead. That would feel... It would feel very justified that we can use the gem that we saved. What's the other option? The other option would be to, like, bait Psychic with a fake out guy. Can we do that? I'm gonna bait Moonblast Psychic. And then die sometimes. Yikes. I think not. How about no? Yeah, let's just say we go Overquill. What does Overquill bait? Hurricane doesn't kill. Does Earthquake kill? It doesn't. Alright, so everybody out damages me after the gem is gone. Actually, before the gem is gone. So we're going to get Noivern Hurricane exactly. On that, what do we do? Surely it's a Magna Zone pivot. Go to zone on the gem, beta Flamethrower. Drud can't do it. Big Gig actually takes this stuff fairly well. So now we can go Hardstone Gigalith, hit another 99% range, because that's what we do. We just have to roll 1 in 16s for some reason. I get it. I don't have a life orb. You don't have to keep hitting me with it. I understand. I promise you I get it. We also have to dodge Flamethrower Burn. And we can't switch in on anything else. So maybe that's just bad. Alright. Floats can't do it. Might not have better options. Yeah, I think if I was going to do a nature change, it would be Lopunny. Jolly Lop seems like it would do a lot of things for me. Like outspeed this fool. Yup. That would be a thing. That would be one thing. Oh, that's gotta be Moonblast guy. Okay, Persimberry, you. Sure. Sure. So yeah, we use up the Hurricane. We go there on Flamethrower. We always... Oh, we don't want Flamethrower. We want Dragon Pulse. Can we get Dragon Pulse out of this guy? We can with Costa. So Costa as a pure pivot with Citrus. if he has the gem still. If he has the gem and he misses Hurricane, that sucks. Alright, so no, I think we're better off taking the Flamethrower. And we Draining Kiss into Moonblast. And we should get Crobat. Is it always going to be Crobat? It is going to be always Crobat. Hopefully for not Hypnosis. We go Penguin with a Chesto, and we should two-shot because he's doing Brave Bird Recoil. We have lots of chances to wake up. Yep. And then we do have to take the right amount of damage, which isn't that much. So we'll just probably pivot with somebody. But we'll get ourselves Earthquake guaranteed, surely. And then what do we do with guaranteed Earthquake? Go Corv and just ignore the fact that he can set up? I think what I said was Eel Gastro Acid, so I can... If I go Eel... I don't have the slot for it. Oh, I was using the HP from Gigalith, who I'm no longer bringing to beat Gliscor, that's right. Okay. So let's say I get it. What's the worst case? The scary thing would be if he clicks Swords Dance. Click Swords Dance and I Super Fang, he's 50%, he can Swords Dance again. And then we would just be dead to Earthquake. Well, let's check the math though. Yeah, it doesn't almost works out. Because funny enough, Eel and Legion can almost stall this guy out. Sky Uppercut, and alright, so we're close, but we have too many to form on team. We're spending a gem. How are we not doing this fight easily? I am very, very stumped. Everyone's weak, but not so weak that I can just do what I want. Hold on. Can heal just 1v1 if I teach Ice Punch, right? Because I could just knock off Ice Punch, right? I'd have to drop what? Gastro Acid? I have enough toxic guys, so I am not clicking that as much as I might otherwise. Probably. That's probably the move I ditch. Because Super Fang helps quite a bit. Does this guy get Ice Punch? I don't ever really remember what if he. I think he gets like Fire Punch or something silly. No, it doesn't. It's just Brick Break. Oh, Electros. Sorry. Fire Punch. And I think he's HP Water. He's not HP Ice. Okay. Doesn't really do the gig. Oh, that's right. I remember. I wanted to see if I could get... I can't early dive yet. If I had the water gem, Eel does it. But I don't have the water gem. Oh, excuse me. Alright. Drud, Ice Punch. How are we doing? Dread Ice Punch is a 2-shot, but Dread doesn't get to live the 2-shot. We can't let him set up unless we're going to Gastro Acid. Remove, and we haven't brought the guys to do that. Oh yeah, wasn't I supposed to like paste bin? Let's do that. Let's get that ready. I forgot. People wanted to see my winning run. Dupes. Let's save that. Find this old save state. That's the one. Not this. Let's do the hidden powers, just because it's a shorter list. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can get rid of... this won't even do everything. Hold on. Because of box 14. So I need to, and this is the DD run. I need the winning run. Where is that saved? Looking at the wrong one. All right, before I do any of this, let's make sure I'm saved. I'm in the right spot. I've got what I need. I do. Okay. That's the one. Okay, so we need this. Okay. Let's try that. All right, and then paste bin. Ooh, that's obnoxious. Yeah, the problem is ChatGPT gave me my list with spaces between every single entry, which sucks. Alright, let's try something else. So I tried to make it easy for myself by having it give it to me, have ChatGPT do it, but it made it worse. There we go. Let's try that. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, this is weird. I don't like it. We're gonna go to my drive. Oh, wrong thing. Then people are gonna know my name. I don't want to give my name out. This is so annoying. I'll figure this out offline. At least I have them. Make money instantly. What could go wrong? Well, if I'm gonna spend a gem, I want to win the fight. None of this, like, spend gem, lose fight nonsense. That sounds awful. Nothing can go wrong, exactly. I wonder how Surf does. Not that I can do a Surf kills. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my god. All we'd have to do is get like a scary face. And dodge a crit. No, not dodge a crit. Get a scary face. -2. Huge whale lord value. Blah, 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 blah. Gotta say, this Clawitzer hits hard, man. It does. It does damage. This is so bad. It's amazing. Like, I thought that when I got to run Penguin, it would, you know, be really good against all of the hazards that you see. It's not a good matchup on most of the hazard setters. It's mediocre every time. And I know that other people run Icy Wind, and Icy Wind guy does better, but it's still Icy Wind, Defog, Flash Cannon, and then you like in your low HP, but you don't know how low, and you're beating inconsistent stuff. Like it isn't good. I don't think by any reasonable measure is Empoleon proving to be a good defog mon. It is a mon that gets defog, and the dead slot is pissing me off. Defog is great if you click it, but right, the best way to deal with hazard setters is to knock them out. The The second best way is to rapid spin and then outspeed kill with something slower than it. Penguin does neither of these things. Defog doesn't let you change the speed control. It never one-shots anything. It doesn't outspeed anything without a separate speed control move, which for most of the game you can't afford to spend. Most players run Icy Wind on their Penguin. I could not. I would have lost a lot earlier than this if I didn't run Scald. So even though that was an unpopular decision, it was the right one for this box. I could teach it Rock Tomb now, and then it would still be fine, right? It takes 3 to 4 turns, and then if I get crit, I can bait Noivern accidentally instead of Gliscor. So it's just not consistent. It's right. It's not just enough to beat most. There are lots of ways to not have rocks be up in the game. You want to get not rocks up and a consistent next Pokemon for a consistent move, and Penguin just ain't doing that. Imagine a starter getting crit. Exactly, man. I think, and then I can't reliably ask Eel to knock off, because then I'm just hoping it clicks rocks turn 1. But maybe that's what I have to do. Click knock off the life orb. But now we're back to the problem where I don't have the only thing that does this. Is that true? Gigalith. I think Gigalith can take any one Pokemon on this fight other than Gliscor. Yeah, okay, you can. Even with Heat, we don't even care about Hypnosis, actually. Alright, so Hardstone Gigalith is a guy. Hold on. What is the actual base power we need here? I think we learned something about AI recently. It's not enough because we don't have a life orb. So we learned recently that Explosion, which we have, would prevent setup if it showed a slow kill. Explosion on your Pokemon is not treated like AI treats Explosion when it has it. It's just a damaging move. So but it calcs it incorrectly because it's still running button. So Explosion in this gen halves the opponent's defense, and the calculator knows that, but the AI doesn't. So the actual damage I do, I kid you not, Monkey, I triggered this bug on Route 119, and then one of the guys from Deckcord play tested it and came back with the final results.
We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily
So the
find
calculator
what you need.
correctly has
So
Gen
whatever your
8
industry,
Explosion.
always
I'm sorry,
getting
the calculator
professional-grade
correctly has
products.
Gen
Call, click Grainger.com, or just
3
stop by.
Explosion,
Grainger,
but the
for the ones
game has
who
Gen
get it
8.
done.
So if, which I don't, right, so right now this showing that I do 157%. This is with a defense halved, so if I put the defense back up by 2, Explosion doesn't have a kill, and I can't hold the life orb because it doesn't exist. And Silk Scarf doesn't get it to 100%. But if the top roll here with Silk Scarf were 100%, or I had the normal gem available to me, then I could prevent setup, which would be super cool. But it's not a thing here. 205. What about Quill? Quill has Boom. And Importantly, it means that keeping explosion is a lot more valuable than you might think. It also means it might be worth me having explosion in the calculator, but I don't think so. Why would I check Steelix? Steelix has 0 attack. You might. No, you're less. Okay, but we are gonna we're gonna get poison jab off this set. We don't want explosion on it. I delete explosion from my calculator because it just makes you think you have kills that you don't have. We don't have Unnerve, do we? No. I actually don't think I have a single Pokemon that prevents setup from the Gliscor. Here. I have HP Ice Basculegion. That's no good. Can I like Tomb on this? Does anything outspeed this fool? We don't have Ice Gem yet. Drapion can do it with a bunch of attack drops, but a bunch of attack drops mean we have to bring Eel again. I have to 1v1. I need to 1v1 the Clef because the Gliscor is going to take like 3 guys. Or I have to just straight up dodge a crit. And dodging single crit sounds pretty awful. Like as much as everything's a risky line, I haven't been so foolish as to just say like, oh, if I get crit I lose, since Watson. Steel Roller Wailord? Did not know about that. Okay, Scald Hydro Pump. Okay. Nope. Zoom Lens Hydro Pump. But Hydro Pump as a general statement isn't a bad idea. Do we have something that's bulkier than Clowitzer that can just, like, Zoom Lens Hydro Pump? Huh. Can I get a burn on this guy? a fire gem yet either. But once you take an attack, you're always baiting. I mean, or really going for like dual wing beat flame body. Is that really where we are in life? Can I like triple ice shard? Hypothetical. Don switches into an earthquake, dies to crit. We have to start on the field, and then we'd be okay most of the time. Okay. And Don Fan can't do that, right? Don Fan, no. Don Fan cannot prevent Clefable from attacking. Alright. $30 plus 67. Okay, we could with damage boost. Let's explore that. Maybe we just hope for no rocks and go Magnezone. Not hope for no rocks. No, we'd be dead to Flamethrower. We'd have to hope for rocks. Rocks crit. I've seen a lot of people risk no rocks into crit. Alright, I gotta call it. I got no new ideas flowing. I had a bad plan for this before. I got a bad plan for it now. Why does it feel like... No, I leveled it out. I just didn't take the items off. Okay. Monkey, thanks for hanging out. Sorry, I pretty much hit a wall while you were here, but always good to catch up with your friend. Hope to see you live again soon. See if Colt's still alive. Give him a raid. Just 02. What else we got? I'm not ready for some Lucid. Oh. Maybe tonight? Oh, I can fall asleep to that. Yeah, I definitely want to have the itch with this. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's what matters.